Hi guys, welcome to a new video. So a bit of an update on my Interactive Brokers account. My account has been authorized or approved, so I now have an actual account I can log into. So the benefit to that is basically, I don't know if you can see down here, you can see Net Liquid or LIQ. You can see there's 10, meaning $10. So what I basically did is I just sent over some money just to basically test it, because when I went on to Interactive Brokers to wire the funds over, I wasn't sure if the account had to have a requirement of $5,000 or $3,000. Before, Interactive Brokers used to have a restriction on their accounts where customers had to have $10,000 in their account to trade. However, recently in 2018, or nearly a year ago now, or some part of 2018, they restricted, or they got rid of their $10,000 kind of application process system. I think they were allowed to have students or people under 25 that could have $3,000, but I think they've just abolished or got rid of the whole process, the whole concept of having that kind of requirement for people. Obviously that's beneficial for me because I don't have $10,000 to put into my account. So at the moment, basically what I'm going to do is just I'm going to go through and set the platform to how I'm going to have it when I'm trading, and kind of just go through the process of what I'm doing and how I'm going to have it set when I'm trading. This is beneficial to people who are maybe like me, who have just opened an account and or wanting to open an account and want to see how I set it up and how I change the settings to certain things and the parameters, and basically just get a overall gist of how to use the platform. Now, because I'm in the UK, it's very difficult for me to get any kind of trading platform. So I've tried SureTrader, I've tried TradeNet, and I've also tried to get with a couple others, 2 to 3 others. Clomex, SureTrader is just a no-go. They're just a bad company to even deal with. TradeNet, they were good with me. There was just a lot of controversy going on about TradeNet, so I did pull my account from them. They did refund me, so in all fairness, they did refund me, but it was a CDF account, and I'm against CDFs. SureTrader was good for some stuff, but they were just too expensive. They would take fees off me. The platform fees were like $150. I used to get they signed me up to this chat room for SureTrader that I didn't even sign up for, which cost $150 a month. So there's just certain things that I didn't like with SureTrader. Also, the fees with SureTrader weren't that expensive, but they weren't also, inexpensive. And then TradeNet, again, I just kind of controversy with them. I took a couple months off trading just to kind of reflect and just see where I want to go with my trading. Upon learning more about options, I've seen that the direction I want to go with my trading is into options. So therefore, I've wanted to get a bit more technical and a bit more in depth and actually go away and reflect on what I actually want to do with the markets, because it's not something I'm going to be doing, for a year. This is what I want to do for my living. I study business as a business degree. I will be doing a investment banking master's degree. So I'm specializing in finance, predominantly finance based, which is, the stocks and stuff. So although I'm hoping to do a master's degree, I'm also hoping to actually, do this as a living if I can make it successful. So, long story short, being in the UK, it limits you from the brokers you can have. If I was in America, I could have all the platforms that are available, such as Thinkorswim. There's many other platforms you have, like Lightspeed and stuff, although some of them do require limits or amounts you have to have. But in America, they do seem to have a lot more choices and availability of brokers. So, but to break it down, I am with Interactive Brokers, as you can see, and we are basically going to do a bit of configurating or customizing the platform. So the first thing you need to do is, when you are going to actually configure the platform, you need to press the little unlock button here, okay? And then you can see it's got a green square around it, or a rectangle for me. So what we're going to do is basically we are to add anything, you have to go into the new window, and as you can see here we have portfolio, chart, and you have watch list, chart details, trade log, and all the others you can see down here. Okay, so I'm just going to walk through what they are. So we've got portfolio, which you can see here. Okay, this is the portfolio, and if you want to make something smaller, okay, you can shrink it in size if you wish, just like this, and you can pull it forward. Okay, so it's very customizable. And then the second thing we're going to add is we're going to add a chart. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this chart here, which is the implied volatility. So just press X, okay, and then yes. So we're going to now drag the chart over to the bottom left, and like that. The next thing we are going to add, or the next thing we're going to actually kind of shrink, is the option. Okay, this is the call and the puts. So obviously if I'm doing options trading, I'm going to be using the option. I think this is the, I'm trying to think if it's the, so this is the option, this is the option chain. So yeah, this is the option chain. I wasn't sure because you also have on here, you also have a option analysis or an option trader. Yeah, so this option trader here is kind of like the option call, the option chain, but I'm going to just use the option chain just for simplicity for myself. So I'm just going to bring these in. You can see this is, if we go onto the new window, you can see if I click, let's have a look at like trade log, will just bring the trade log up here, but you can't actually keep this anywhere. This will just go like that. So if I want to have a look at my, say, my trades, my summary, and my orders, what we're going to do is we're going to go over and we are going to look for summary or chart. So the next thing we're going to add is a watch list. So if we add the watch list, and you can see here, I'm just going to click favorites because this will bring up some favorites. This is going to bring up some of the ones that they already have. So basically this is going to go, just bring these ones in. Okay, so this watch list is going to go in the bottom right hand corner like so. Let me bring this forward. So you can always see it's kind of starting to look a little bit like a trading platform. So this is the order entry. I'm just going to bring a little bit inwards, and then I'm basically going to make the chart. Didn't mean to exit that. I'm going to basically make the chart a little bit larger. I don't really use, I mean, the charting is okay on this platform. However, if I just show you, probably have something like that. However, I have a 50-inch screen above me, and then I also have another 20-inch screen to the right of me, which if I can show you quickly has, yeah. So this is only on, let me just stretch this back. Yeah, so I have 6 charts on here all the time on my big screen, and then I also have 4 on my right hand screen. So the charting isn't that necessary to have on here per se, but this is going to be where I'm going to be tracking my options, the trade of the actual option, not the trade of the stock. So we're going to have another chart, and that is going to go. And now on the calls and the puts, you can see here, I have it on calls and puts. You can change this for horizontal spread or vertical spread, but I'm going to have calls and puts. And basically you can see that if you click on this little link here, you can group them. So if I have group 1 and I use this as group 1 as well, and we use this as group 1 and the order as group 1 as well. So group 1. So if I change this now to, let's say, HBC, you can see that they all change. So let's just go on to Apple. So search for a stock, you just type it in, click on the one you like, and then basically it will ask you up here. So this is the one we want. And then you can see the chart changes, the calls and the puts change, and also the order entry changes as well. At the moment there's no volume and no bid and ask because the market isn't actually open. So normally you would see like the bid and ask in here, and these are the strikes. So you can change this to have all the strikes down here, and then the builder strategy you want on. And basically you can be, for example, if you were going to be buying, let's say, calls, let's say you're going to be buying some calls at 150, or let's say 146, and then you're going to be selling it for 150. You can basically put a strategy into here, click onto the profile, and then the profile will give you your profit and loss. You can see this is obviously going to be losing money. My max loss 450. So I'm just giving you an example, but if we clear this, and let's say we're going to be buying at 150 and we're going to sell at 140, then you'll see the max loss is 125 and the max return is 875. It basically just gives you your probability. You don't always have to use a strategy, but I sometimes do and I sometimes don't. I have been doing it in the demo account, although I have just been sometimes buying them and then selling the actual contract onto the market whenever I want and just setting a limit price. So on here on the bid and the ask, this is already set up for me, so I just have, if you go onto the settings for the option chain, if you go down and you can have a look at the layout, I just have the description, the option chain, interest, volume, bid and ask. There is some couple other ones on here when you do open your account. I'd already taken those ones off. I just like to see the interest, the volume, and then the bid and the ask, and then the strike price. Obviously calls is for going long, and you buy puts if you're going to be going short. That's that basically. So if we go onto the chart, let me just configure the chart. So we go onto config, and then you can see on here, I mean, it's ever so customizable. You can literally change hundreds of things on Interactive Brokers. So we are going to have, these are the things that we want to include. So we want to have the cursor price. And then you also want to be having, we've got on here the last, which is good for me, show trades, and you can have them as dashes or triangles. So if you enter a trade, it'll show you on the chart where you entered. A couple of those things, they seem okay. And then if we go on to the chart colors, you can see here. So the bar up is obviously the green, the bullish. I always have this on white, okay. So if we just go on to make sure this is, so make sure that is white, yep. Okay, if we apply, you can see it apply there. And then the bar down we have as red, which is already set as red, just to make sure, red. Okay, and then apply that. A couple of the other things we have are the VWAP, you have the crosshair. You can change hundreds of things in here. I just want to kind of show you where it is, so then you can change the things that you need to. You've got the toolbar, so these are the things that you can include in the toolbar down here. So if you want to take out some things or add some things in, you can do so. You can have the chart parameters in there, and press apply, and then you can see added down here, and then you can take away some if you like. I'm just going to try and keep this short, so I just want to kind of show you where the things are so you can add them. Also, if you have this here linked to a chart as well, say group 1, and then you click on let's say Facebook, it will change the chart to Facebook as well. So let's say if we want to add some indicators as well. So if we go on to chart parameters, and then you can see here we have kind of the things that you can change onto the chart. So this is what we were basically just on before. You can, you got the bid and the ask, you can change the things on here, or you can go onto the studies, and then this is where you can add your moving averages. So I want to be having moving averages, and I want to be having, are we having 5? So to add 5, literally click on it and then add, and then obviously press that 5 times. Now I'm going to have mine as blue. Make sure that it, once you've done all the ones and added all the colors you like, you literally simply click apply and then OK. And as you can see here, now on this chart, if we bring it larger, you can see that I have all my moving averages on here, and you can see they're displayed. If you would like to take the display off, you simply just have to go on to, I believe it is, if you can actually, you should be able to right click and just go on to hide legend, so you can see here. As you can see, if you do right click, you can see show crosshair, so we can have the crosshair on, and then if you want to turn it off, just simply turn it off. I like to have it on. You also have a Fibonacci line you can add, zoom in and zoom out, remove all the trend lines, add a study. Like I said, this is completely fully customizable. Also a good thing here, if you want to try and work out the your percentage of a let's say increase or decrease. Say if the chart was here and you wanted to predict like a let's say a bit of a reversal. So if the reversal does happen like we did here, you can kind of drag it up and see this is a 1.2% reversal, or conversely going down, you could see there was a -4%. So that's quite cool. You can do stuff like that. Then if you want to remove it, you just go and basically remove all trend lines. Remove all trend lines and that'll get rid of them. And then if you want to save this chart as like kind of the main one you want to use, you just go into File, Save Chart, and you can just call it New. So I already have a couple saved. So basically, let me just make this one a little bit small. So for me, for example, I already have a couple saved. So for me, I can open my chart, and my one is, I believe, down here. So that's my chart here, and you can see if you zoom in and you zoom out, it brings it up. Okay, so and now I'm going to be adding the market depth, which is basically the level 2. So if we just click on this, and then we can now bring this. We can now bring this just below our bid and ask, so we can see the market orders. Okay, so we now have the bid and the ask, and if we link this with the same group, which is group 1, and if we change on here, let's see, to MA, you can see now they all change synergistically. So now that's all correct, and you could for example have this one as group 3 and this one is group 3. So then you have a separate chart where you can just go on it straight away, Amazon, and then straight away Amazon comes up on the chart, and you can zoom in and zoom out. So we have, let's say, the 15-minute, we can zoom in with the mouse and we can zoom out with the mouse. And then you can see here you have the buy and sell on here, and you can also set an alert. Let's say if it goes above 15.10, you can set an alert. Like I say, the platform is quite good, in all fairness. There isn't a lot that I don't really like about it. So we've been going for about 20 minutes now, so I'm going to try to keep this short, but let's try to add in a couple more other things just to kind of make this a little bit helpful. So if you go onto here, you can see we've got the time, the instrument, and this is what I want to show you. You can basically change this, so you can make this smaller or larger. So you can see before it just said, you couldn't see it said action. When I started, all mine were like really small, so I couldn't see what any of them were. So I had to open them up a little bit, and the same as if we go onto the orders, you can make these larger as well. You can, if you wanted to move your account across or make your account larger, you can do so. The summary, we have the buys, the sell, and the that's not what I wanted to show you though. I did want to show you the profit and the loss, which is going to be, so basically now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my trades window here. Okay, and I'm just going to move it above my portfolio, and I will show you why. Basically, if we just lower, so if we lower the watch list down, okay, and then if we move this across, and then I'm going to add the bid and the ask. So I've just realized I normally have, this is why I couldn't figure it out. So I normally have my activity window down here. That's how I normally have it, my bad, because I'll show you why in a second. So if you make this a little bit larger, that's better. So now you can see, so before all you could see was the position. Okay, so if you drag this across, position doesn't need to be that large. So basically the portfolio, you can see it says cash. So we're just going to shrink this down, and the P&L, and I'm basically going to show you the metrics of how, or the style that I have mine. So you go onto the settings here, settings, and then this is where you can change them. So I already have a picture of what I used to have mine at. So I used to have the position and the average price. So basically you can type in here which ones you want to have. So I've already got the position on there. I've also got the average price. So if we move the position up, okay, and then we want the average price, and then that's going to give us the market value. Okay, the average price, one contract, or the position and the average price is going to equal the market value. One position times the average price gives you the market value. And then I'm also going to have, which I had before, the cost basis. So So I'm going to now show you which ones I have set up. So we have the average price at the top. I want the position at the top and then the average price, and then this will give us the cost basis. So we add the position plus the average price, it will give us the cost basis. And then I'm now going to have the market value just underneath that. So if we can search over here in the right, and we're going to search on market value, and then you click add, and then click on market value, and then go higher, and that'll give us the market value. I also want the P&L and then realized P&L. So I'm not going to have the last, so we can remove last, we can move change. The financial instrument I'm also going to remove. Actually, I'll keep this one on just for now, but we're going to look for realized P&L. Okay, so we just type in RE and you can see we have realized P&L. Okay, so I'm going to add that, and then I'm going to add that just below my P&L, and then basically apply. Okay, click apply, and then click OK, and then you can now see up here we have, if I show you the P&L, we have the position, we have the average price, the cost basis, the market value, P&L, and the portfolio. And you can see I have $10, so you can see it's here GBP cash, and it tells my, you know, how much I have. So I'm just looking at my old account, and on my summary I'm just seeing if these are all the same. Yeah, these are all the same what I used to have. So I think this has given you quite a comprehensive, not review as such, but just really an in-depth kind of, not as in-depth as I would like, because I do need to get some studying done today. I will be going to town, so I do need to do stuff after this video. So I just wanted to get a quick video out there, get the platform set up, add some indicators, change the chart a little bit, move the bid and the ask around, get the level 2 on there, the summary of the portfolio, the profile, the calls, the puts, the chain, option chain, the watch list, and hopefully that's kind of got you started, or kind of shown you, then obviously basically, sorry, to lock it. Now that's locked. One thing before I do go, we want to save this. Okay, so we want to save, and we want to save settings as, let's say, options account, and then we save, and just to be sure, we're going to save the settings again. There we go. So now that's all saved, and I can log out, and that'll be fine. So thank you for watching, guys. I am now going to go get some studying done. I'm going to do another video about, you know, when I'm actually going to go live trading, and like I say, I'll keep that all into another video. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned for my other videos to come, and I will see you all in the next video.